This is Hollywood superstar Hugh Jackman. Welcome to Series 4 of the Dad Tales podcast. These two are the real greatest showmen. Sit back and enjoy.
I'm going to definitely cut this bit out.
So the question is...
We don't ever find the answer out. But that's like being in between like your mum and your dad.
Hang on for a second. We've had that one. What are you talking about? So what was the age?
Should we try violin today?
No. Just trying to put some head there. You know that song, Lady in Red? But the boys in pink.
They are in pink. This is completely unplanned as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just
We're in sync. It's like menstrual cycles.
Is this our week?
Yeah. We're in sync with each other. Women get menstrual, like women in the same household sync up, don't they? Apparently sync up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've often thought this sometimes about women that live together. How does that work?
Mine had some come out. I have a week of hell, another week of hell, and then 2 weeks where it's all right.
We're all right.
Yeah, so I could do with like them syncing up, and I can just deal with them both for the same week to make my life easier.
Women, eh?
Just a bit of admin before we start. Last few episodes I've listened to, I can't understand me.
The last few episodes we've done that have gone out have been when we've had a drink, though, isn't it?
And before the Friday night specials,
Even before that.
I'm thinking, if I can't hear me listening to me and I know what I've tried to say, how are other people meant to
Put
understand?
the subtitles on it.
We need to put some on it because I was thinking, what the hell is going on? It's like sometimes the words the wrong way around. Like
That's always it's normal.
like off to shops, I'm like, shops off. I'm like, what the?
Go right back to the beginning. What number one, number two? I think people have got used to,
Have they?
Definitely.
Well, I've noticed it more, and it was quite cringy. I was listening, thinking, I see a speech therapist.
A speech therapist.
Therapist. I know I speak fast. I know I want to say something. My brain said go for it. My mouth's going, hang on, we haven't really worked out what we're trying to say here properly. Just slow yourself down a little bit. So I do have that issue. I know that happens. Because even sometimes I'll say something called what?
I can imagine you in like a team meeting just going off on one, then just suddenly winding it back going, what have I just said there?
Yeah, what? Did I speak English
What
there?
percentage of that was legal?
Yeah. In my classes, sometimes I'll say something, I'll go, blah, 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 like that, and I'll go, there's some English in there, but what I need to do now is this.
There's some English, some French, some German, and some Polish. You figure out what it was.
I'm impressed if I could speak Polish. Does this happen to you sometimes as well, where your voice goes like croaky?
In a class, I don't know.
So I get a lot in spins. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm breathing heavy, so I'm struggling to breathe and talk. And sometimes I'll go, my voice like lifts up pitch, and my joke, I crack it every time to the point where the class must think, come for this. I go, I've just become a man. And my voice will go deep. And I do it all the time. And,
I love the same jokes.
and the class I was like, hey, we heard you last time you did that.
One funny then.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
We need a better line for you.
Mm.
Or just a new line.
But yeah, so a bit of admin there for you. That I apologise, and I'm consciously actually trying to work on my speech. So if I sound like I'm speaking a little bit slower, I apologise.
I'm not having a stroke.
Yes, I do worry though. Sometimes I potentially like when the doctors hook me up and go, "This guy's been having a stroke for 10 years. Has no one ever noticed?"
It's just ongoing for 10 years.
Has no one noticed? Has his speech not been quite right? Nope, never has been.
It's just an ongoing stroke.
So yeah, so I apologise,
Admin out the way.
and I'm going to try and be conscious of it. And as well, apart from the wife, because she picks me up on it all the time, if I'm with other people, pick me up on it if I'm slurring or not speaking. I slur when I'm not even drunk.
You are drunk a lot of the time, though.
Not work when I'm slurring.
I think it's just nerves. You know you're going to say something. You know you're going to say something that you shouldn't say. So to get out of it, what you're doing is preempting the old, and you can just go, well, I don't even know what I said.
Yeah, let's do that. Do the last bit of thing. I love it when I say something, and I've often said something either too fast or not coherent, and they've looked at me and gone, and I'm like, you don't know what I just said, do you? Look on, no, and I'm like, why don't pick me up? I just thought someone doing something really important, like going to a plant room and mix some chemicals. Do you understand them? I'll go, yeah. Like, you don't have a clue what I've just said.
Just go making you a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll definitely want a biscuit with that tea. He'll be happy if I bring him a biscuit.
But yeah, that happens quite a lot.
I can imagine that. I can imagine people just don't listen to you anyway.
What?
Exactly.
Anyway,
should we do a session?
how you been? You all right?
Yeah, good. Good for you. Right, tonight's topic.
What we're talking about tonight?
Tonight's topic.
Tonight, Matthew, I'm
I
going to be.
think we need to do ourselves. There's a lot of wrong in the world, isn't there? And I think we need to help the world out because we do things. Everything we do, they say, it's bad for you. It's bad for you. So we're going to look at the top 6 things that are allegedly bad for you. But I think we can persuade people that they're all right.
Yeah, let's go for it. A couple of them have to persuade away.
Should we start with what I would consider maybe the less of the evils? Video games. So a lot around video games where people are like shooting people and then they'll go steal a car and then people say, oh, they're bringing that into real life.
I think that's just tosh. I think that's an easy get out for society.
It's an easy blame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something's gone wrong. Oh, somebody swore on telly, so you can.
Yeah, because the blame like gun shootings on like Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that, don't they?
Yeah.
But I think that's more of a societal problem because in England we don't really have many gun shootings. Touch wood.
Yeah, it's because guns are banned in this country.
That's what I'm saying. So what I do think is it's more of a societal problem in access and things to.
Although there is something to be said about copycat behaviour, isn't there? So do you remember? Was we talking about this the other day when we was talking about the Tango advert?
Yeah,
do you remember the old Tango advert? We used to go around, you've been Tango,
yeah,
and then there was a spate, weren't there? People just going around and randomly slapping people.
Yeah, but
also though, when we grew up, wrestling was a thing. You didn't really get people in the streets just in their undies, did you?
You did, but as school kids, we used to wrestle all the time. We used to love wrestling. I was ICOR champion for ages at school.
I remember getting in trouble. Dinner lady come and stopped me. She said, "Oh, so and so's come and said that you've just given him a washing line."
Washing. And you go, no, miss, it's a clothesline.
Yeah.
Bang, give it
It was
one.
obviously something where he'd said clothesline, but her interpretation of a clothesline, she would have called it a washing line.
That is quality.
So I denied it. I didn't washing line him. In the bloody good clothesline though.
Did you? Did you proper? Yeah, we used to be like over the top, like to point where every now and then you put a proper punch in. Like, you know, when you're like wrestling on the floor and you'd be like, bang, give it like rib shot and give it a good punch.
Yeah, what you just didn't hold back.
Yeah.
Which I can imagine kids at school will be MMA in.
Will they though? I don't know if it's a thing.
Or do you think it's maybe just a bit soft kids now?
Kids are a bit soft.
Yeah.
It's all awful to say, but kids are a little bit soft these days. A little bit sensitive. There's nothing wrong with being sensitive. It's good to be sensitive to your emotions. Good to speak about it. But yeah, a little bit soft these days.
We move on. Music.
This I don't get.
Like the gangster rap type.
Well, it's like what's getting hammered at the moment
music.
is drill music, isn't it? So drill music's getting all the
What,
aggro.
like-
You don't know what drill music is, do you?
No.
So it's like London grime is like it's drill music.
I don't know what grime is. How do you describe what's garage?
So garage is like a bit of drum and bass here, like with a bit of rap into it. That's garage.
But why do you call it garage?
Because
What's happy hardcore?
that's just dance music that you're happy to.
But how core is it?
Oh, very. I just love happy hardcore. Yeah, so at the moment drill music's getting all the bad rep because in the drill music they're talking about like knifing people and killing and stuff like that.
Like Little T?
I don't know Little T, but there's someone really famous in drill music. He's in prison. He's serving like 23 years plus more now.
For drilling?
Well, he's releasing records while he's in prison, like this drill music stuff. And this, like, obviously everyone's idolising him. He's an absolute, well, before I get myself into some sort of trouble, but like, I don't know how he's still able to do that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like how is he allowed to?
It's almost glamorising being in prison.
Yeah. But in these circles, he's a bit of a god, really, from what I can work
And I
out.
suppose people that maybe listen to that would think that that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Hang on, we're supposed to be saying how good this is. How music's good.
So what I'm saying though is, I think it's a bit of a get out that people go, oh, they're doing that because they're listening to that person. Do you know what I mean? Like, we grew up listening to Eminem and stuff, do you know what I mean? And but I did anyway. And
Peanuts and
Snoop
chocolate.
Dogg and Holland.
Snoop Dogg. As if you go.
Dr. Dre.
Name me a rapper. Snoop Dogg.
Dr. Dre. Eazy-E.
ECE.
Yeah, from NWA. I used to listen to like
What?
gangster.
A wrestler.
Eazy-E. What are you giving it?
NWA.
Yeah, there is a. Do you know NWA? Do you know NWA?
I have no idea what all this stuff is. I know what happy hardcore is, grime, grunge. I know what disco is.
Yeah. What is your music? Because I can listen to any music. I mean, I reckon I could probably listen to drill music, and probably there'd be some.
I'd put some on,
tracks.
but we get pulled off the air.
Yeah.
Don't we, for-
What is your sort of music?
I don't really know. What like? What's I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't. I'm like you. I could listen to anything, depending on what type of mood I'm in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just necessarily put a genre of music on. I like a little bit of everything,
Yeah.
but I don't know what. If you said, "Oh, put some grunge on," I don't know what that is. I've heard of it, but I wouldn't go, "Oh, that's definitely that
Grunge.
type of music."
Yeah.
House, warehouse, garage,
Indie.
to just places outside.
I think it's probably something to do with where they started.
Yeah,
If that makes
in
sense.
somebody's garage.
Potentially, I don't know. I don't really know. Oh, it's a garage scene, in it? So everyone went to party in a garage. I mean,
Yeah,
in the garage. And we on that. I don't get where they come from fully, but
and again, I wouldn't know what kind of music that was.
yeah, I'd like to say. I'd like to say I could probably say that belongs in that sort of genre.
So, like Eminem, if I was to think of rap,
He is
I
rap.
wouldn't think of Eminem.
Well,
I think because he sort of Venn diagrammed himself into like the pop chart.
he's not pop. He's not
So
pop.
how does that carry over?
Because we go through spurts of where that sort of music is very popular, so it's in the charts.
Pop. You mean
Popular.
Pop.
Is that what pop stands for?
Yeah,
Popular music.
Popular culture.
Is that okay? Bad. Yeah. You know, learning curve.
Light bulb.
Yeah. But like, so like, there was a spate like in 2000, it was all indie one. It was all like rock and indie was the big thing, like Killers,
Yeah.
Foo Fighters, even to the extreme. Slipknot was sliding into the
Slipknot.
genres.
What kind of what's that?
Heavy metal,
Heavy metal.
a very heavy metal.
What's light metal?
Well, I'd say lightish because not as heavy. I'd probably put like Limp Bizkit in it because they've got a bit of rap / rock to it, and they're a lighter version of Slipknot. Slipknot are very
Slipknot's
screaming.
just screaming, isn't it?
No.
How do you know somebody's good at singing if they just scream?
Corey, the lead singer, is a good singer. He's a good singer.
When you say Corey, I think of a Willie.
Corey, you think of a Willie? Why?
I don't know.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
My little Corey.
Said nobody ever, but that's fine.
That's definitely a thing.
Because like I like hip hop and rap for me are interchangeable.
See, hip hop.
Salt and Pepper hip hop. I would go.
Salt and Pepper, what, the girls?
Yeah, there was like hip hop.
Hip hop?
There was like 80s hip
So
hop.
what's the difference between hip hop and like garage?
Garage. What do you mean?
Is hip hop the like music that you'd want to do the sexy time to?
Not really. That's
Slipknot.
that's a bit slow jams. I don't know. That'd be like R&B.
I see another one. Rhythm
Yeah.
and blues.
That yeah, R&B's where you got your
That's the sexy time.
like Mary J. Blige, and but she falls into rap a little bit as well. As,
And a little bit of pop, I reckon.
well, in popular culture, she does now. That's
You
right.
see what I mean?
I said a right idiotic Eureka moment because I always thought pop was like just your generic genre, which it is, I think, of like like today's but it's today's music now. But I'm thinking,
Popular.
yeah, but I was thinking like Cheeky Girls would be pop, or Spice Girls is pop. Take That I'd put as pop.
But Spice Girls, they have a little rap in that.
One song, I won't hang the hat on being a rap artist.
You take that back. Mel C would definitely say she's a rapper.
She's good.
Which leads us on to the next one, which is the sexy time.
Always.
Apparently it's bad, can be bad for you.
Well, unless you can go somewhere with someone dirty, then it is bad. dirty girl.
Sometimes dirty's good.
But for me, it's
It's an exercise.
Yeah. Heart's pounding, getting a good 2 minutes of exercise. You're intimate with somebody.
Endorphins.
Yeah.
So we really saw that. So we're quite happy on the side that that sex done properly
Yeah.
is all right for you.
I think it's
What about the disappointment of it?
you have disappointment or they have disappointment with you.
Let's not pick that scab. I'm just talking in general.
Yeah, I don't understand your disappointment.
Because like anything, if you
The thought of it's better than the actual thing.
yeah, like
That's you. Yeah. Oh yeah, really fancy game of golf. Come on, golf. Wish I fucking
like
bothered.
owning a dog. The thought of it's way better than doing it.
There's lots of things like that.
If you went on a roller coaster, for instance, and you was getting to that bit at the top, you get excited, don't you? You know, it's chugging up, chug, 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 and there's with each
Are you to give me a euphemism for your actual sexy time here?
No, this is not me. This is just in general.
Go on.
And then you get to the top,
And you fall off the tracks.
and then you don't get the rush that you thought was. So you maybe come off that ride.
A little bit
A little bit
disappointed.
disappointed. Do you see what I mean? You've built it up. You built up the anticipation of that, and it was just that hungry caterpillar that goes.
I don't know if you're doing it right, mate.
I'm not doing that, mate.
and the thing is, I don't want to look to your pointers. I'm not bothered. Normally, I'd say, do you want to have a look at that? Just see if I can use some tips. I do not want to say that. I don't want to burn my eyeballs out of my head.
Just so I know it's not me.
Yeah, whatever. Do you get off the ride disappointed, Andrew?
I don't. Let's move on. Drugs.
What type of drugs?
Any?
See, I take drugs to stay alive.
Fair point.
So them drugs are good.
I suppose it would be like maybe hallucinogenic, or are all drugs hallucinogenic? Like the illegal ones, because they all put you into a state, don't they? I don't know. I'm not a drug user, but is there a point where drugs are good?
Well,
drugs are all right, other than your medicine.
Yeah, but so there's a fine definition here, because some drugs, so some people got like heavy depression, will take like forms of PCP or coke and stuff like that in like certain formations to then eradicate that.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Oh, you dirty pig.
So it's funny that controlled drug use, I think, is a very good thing, and I think we're taking leaps forward because they've just figured out how the Alzheimer's gene works, and they know the protein that's causing the problem.
No, I didn't know this.
Revolutionary. So they've managed to figure out that they know how Alzheimer's works and what's causing it, and it's to do with like proteins that are like building up, and with the right medication. And I think the medication's coming from potential like an extract of mushrooms or something like that, and they're able to.
Mushrooms, they're the answer to it all. Aren't they?
Yeah, but they're able to rebuild the bridges that have fallen. Technically, like bridges are falling in Alzheimer's, so the connections aren't quite right. But they think they've figured out a way to repair, and that's actually probably one of the things that's stopping us potentially living forever, because you can sort of keep kicking the body down the road, but the mind, we always know, can't regenerate. Once your mind cells have gone, that's it, you're knackered. So who wants to be living to 120, but your mind's absolutely cuckoo? You wouldn't want that in anybody. Do you know what I mean? It's probably the most horrific thing to see, someone's got Alzheimer's. But that's like a massive step forward for us to like go into the next echelon. Do you think 50s, only a couple of 100 years ago, was the average age, pushing out to 70s? We're now probably average age, probably about 85 now. Well, we're long pushing to hundreds.
Yeah.
Which is quite incredible, isn't it? But once again, that's drugs.
I don't know if I want to live that long.
Well, I would take, someone said to me, you can live to 100, I'd take it as long as my mind was right.
But what if your mind's right and your body's just knackered? Because I mean, I'm 40 somewhere and my body's knackered.
But I think there's advancements that we can have new knees, we can have new. I mean, we're at the point now where there's like heart transplants that are like from pig's ass.
Pig's ass?
Yeah, little holes.
Think about that speech.
Pig's hearts.
Pig's hearts, not pig's ass.
And we're growing organs now
We
are growing fatter. That's a problem. We're growing organs in labs that are now from your own cells.
This is the positive thing about drugs, isn't it? Because there must be something within some of those illegal drugs that are good.
Yeah. Oh well, I think they are good. It's just I think the problem we have is we cut it and it's not in its right form by the time you get it.
Yeah, there's an impurity over the
trying to get as much quantity out of it as you can.
Yeah.
Cutting it with dishwasher tablets
Yeah,
and stuff like
mixing
that.
it with dog food and stuff.
But
Do you think that all like drug addicts are actually on a test?
yeah,
They've been chosen.
well, I'm not saying drug addicts, but I believe so. I take medication for an ailment I've got, but I genuinely think
Viagra's not a medication.
don't need that, mate. But I genuinely believe I am a guinea pig for the higher society. So what they'll do is they'll say, right, X amount of people had this, and this was side effects. You should go on this one. They could have given me something as a test and go, yeah, you lasted 10 years on that drug. Don't touch that one.
Is this your conspiracy?
Yeah. I don't think the high, like all pharmaceuticals are owned by the higher people in society, aren't they? They're all the multi-billionaires. So I genuinely think they're going, right, got a new drug here. What's best? Well, put it out to masses. Right, all them that got that ailment, just give them that and see what happens. Give them that one and let's see which is best.
Do you know what I find weird about like drugs, certainly medication, is that you're on one thing and then you have to take another to counteract like a side effect. So then you take another to counteract that side effect.
Yeah.
You can take 3 tablets to counteract each other or counteract something else. For just you only need one.
Yeah, so I'm on 3 tablets, but there'll be people with the same issue who are on 1 tablet.
So my conspiracy theory would be that you don't need those 3.
No,
you
I-
have one, and then they're just going to charge you for the other 2.
But no, if I was paying, so I'm on like what's called
Oh, no, but all right, it's not specifically you, but
No.
in society.
well, the
as a
GP,
whole.
the GP's getting charged for 3. The pharmaceutical companies getting charged for. They're getting paid somehow for all 3. I completely agree. And I won't be surprised if maybe one of them is what I actually need, same as Joe Blogs down road. The 2 placebos.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's easy to just give you something that could probably.
Yeah.
It could just be a sugar capsule or
Yeah.
a sweet of some variety. And go, oh, that won't do it any harm.
No.
Have it. Well, them big bosses and then
I genuinely think we are one big experiment.
drugs. I think we've maybe gone round in a circle with
Yeah, I'm for.
lots of drugs.
I'm for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's studies that are showing like cannabis and stuff like that, legal, like, it's helping people's mental state and stuff like that. What I don't want to see is absolutely being dope heads and becoming bad. But I do think there's a need for it, and that some people are more functional and stuff like that. Kids got ADHD and stuff like that. You put them on the PCP, not PCP, that's a bit strong, that one. But you put them on the gummies and stuff like that, which is extracts of.
PCP. Isn't that what you get when you buy a new car?
That's glue in it. Is PCP a glue?
I don't know.
Oh, what's that glue? Like glue sniffing.
Britstick.
Yeah, I can't think of those. I'm sure it's like a. Do you know, that's a weird thing, actually, going back to that. Can you remember in the 90s, everyone was sniffing glue and sniffing petrol and stuff like that? No one's doing that these days, are they? I never hear of anybody, but obviously I'm grown up.
Aerosols, wasn't it?
Yeah, you
Aerosols.
spray aerosol in the back of the throat through a rag, didn't they? You used to get a rag and spray it in the back of the throat and stuff. I didn't do it. I genuinely didn't do it, but it was like a fad in the face that everyone was doing. I tell you what my mate did do. Sprayed his nipple with an aerosol and flicked it, his nipple flew off. And that was a good night.
Heck, that's not one nipple Sid, is it?
No, it's one nipple Chris.
Next one on the list, smocking.
Not a fan. Don't think it's. And we're trying to spot it out. We're trying to say, yeah.
So we're trying to, because there's so many things that say that. I mean, they are. I think it's medically proven that it's not good for you.
Yeah.
But then you get people that live to like 90 and just smoked all their life
Yeah.
and just managed, just got through it. So it's almost like you've got a trigger in it inside you, and at some point it goes, yeah, that's
I've had enough, yeah.
That's enough. Yeah. But yeah,
I mean, I think, well, we know this. I'm not going to be some sort of philosopher with my crystal ball, but I think vaping is going to have the same problems as smoking has now.
yeah,
We're just too far. Like when smoking first came out, it was like a diuretic, wasn't it? People were doing it to lose weight and stuff. They said, oh, it's the best thing ever.
yeah.
Nothing really happens to you. Do you know what I mean? Just the smoke coming out. Do you know what I mean? Nothing wrong. It took us, what? Was that like 1920s that was happening? Maybe even earlier. It took us best part of 80 years to go, oh, crap.
I think there's
This
a lot of
is
stuff like
bad.
that now, though, that we're doing that you're not going to know what the knock-on effect is to learn.
COVID jab.
Can boom everywhere.
Well, have you heard what Keir Starmer wants to do with us? The absolute nut bar. He wants to jab us with
Sausages.
release the sausages. That was the best thing ever. I enjoyed that.
He went all Joe Biden, did he, for a
He did.
minute?
The best thing I like about him is when he was in House Commons. And do you watch Face Jacker or Phone Jacker?
No.
There's a guy called Brian Bedondi. And he goes, "Bor, bor, 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 bor," and he did that. And he was like, "Bor, bor, 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 bor," but he couldn't speak.
Bit like you.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. What was I on about them? Yeah, what Keir Starmer wants to do. He wants, so there's a new drug on the market for diabetes. And what he's doing is everyone in type 2 diabetes who can get it from being overweight and stuff. They're losing weight like ridiculous. It's like this wonder weight loss jab. So he's now saying what we should do is jab all the fatties so then they can go back to work, pretty much. He's like, oh yeah, we've got a
Is this
problem.
that thing that Sharon Osbourne's had?
Yes. No, not Sharon. Her daughter had it.
They both had it.
I didn't know Sharon had it.
Yeah.
Sharon is not overweight, is she? Why would she be having it?
Because the weird ad.
Well, Sharon's it doesn't look very good. I'm not being
she
awful.
Exactly.
I saw a picture of the other day. But that's down to work being done on her face. That's nothing to do with
It is,
jab.
but she has lost a lot of weight. Because Kelly Osbourne.
Kelly's lost loads because it's wonder drug.
Yeah.
But it was for diabetics, and it was showing really good signs for the diabetes, losing weight rapidly, and then their diabetes was under control. So they were saying, like, as a burden to the NHS, this is unbelievable. They've been doing it for about 6 to 8 months, maybe a year now, where it's now like a common thing to give to people who've got diabetes. But now Keir Starmer wants to like sort of roll it out to even, people who are on like pre-diabetes, you're on the spectrum, going, look, you need to make a lifestyle change.
It's a lazy way, isn't it?
Well, he's using it. Well, from what I can work out, don't get me wrong, I've not really read up massive on it, but it is people out of work because they can't work because they're overweight, they're having problems, a bit draining the NHS. So it's like, right, well, jab them, they'll lose the weight, we'll send them back to work. I think we're missing like an educational thing somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine that guy was like massive and they go, right, I'll give you the jab. 6 weeks later, right, tell you what, mate, back you go to back down pit you go, lad. Because we live in North East, that's why loads of pits around.
There's a psychological aspect to stuff like that. There's a reason that people.
Yeah.
There's a reason that people get that size. If you're
addiction to food.
If you're on scales and you can't see the numbers, somebody has to read them.
I have so much read numbers to me as well.
So because you're terrible.
Think of cock covers it. But I don't know what to say.
Good. Last one. Drinking.
Perfectly fine.
It's the answer to all problems.
I love drinking. Do
you know what I don't like about drinking?
Go on.
These like social drinkers. Just come home and have a beer.
Yeah, I can't do that.
No.
I can't have one. And that sounds like I've got a problem. But if I'm going to have a drink, I'm having a drink.
Yeah.
So
like if I was driving, I wouldn't have a drink because I just think, I don't just want to have one. And you get a taste for it.
Yeah, so last night we went out. I had a beer, knowing I would then drive home to have a few more beers. So I had my beer out.
So my thing
with my food.
So when I've been places, like when me and Lex went to Thorpe Park a couple of months ago, and like people having a drink, and it just don't. I don't know. I don't know every situation, but I'm thinking if you drove here, what's the point?
That's why I'm driving home from there.
Maybe, but then if you've got, I don't know. I'm maybe thinking it from my point of view because I had a 4-hour drive home. But I think, what's the point of having a beer to
see them sort of like certain circumstances I drink as well. Like I won't go to cinema and drink. I won't go. I'm trying to think of things. I won't go swimming and drink. Obviously, but it's like so that centre parks you can drink around the pool, can't you? So that wouldn't interest me. Can't get me 2 lamps in a minute if I do that. But like there's certain things I just wouldn't even enter my mind to drink.
Yeah,
I can't think what they are running through them all, but
I drink for a reason, a number of reasons, but one of them's not for fun.
Oh, see, there's no escapism for me. I'm not drinking to escape anything. I like drinking, if that makes sense.
I generally though get to like Friday and I feel like I could just do it as a relaxer.
Yeah.
And I think that's the positive thing about this. Yeah. And the social aspect, you go out and have a beer.
Yeah. And I never I do get drunk, but I never get blind drunk that I've lost memory or don't know what I'm doing, or I'll sometimes be sick.
Yeah,
I think that's my dad's step like that.
I don't ever remember having a drink and I don't remember getting home.
No, I don't think I've ever done that.
I've ever done that. this, you know, when you get that next day and you get that parts of the morning where you go,
Yeah.
oh, did I just say that to somebody? Oh,
Yeah.
shit, did I send that message?
Yeah. I mean,
I get them. Or I
I've
buy shit.
been towed drunk, and it's not as if I don't remember that happening.
I remember that happening.
Yeah. Yeah, the last one I went loopy, didn't I?
You did, yeah, I don't know what it is.
Some adrenaline boost came out of my head.
I don't know what you put in you, but it was something crazy.
I remember it though.
So I suppose just to finish off, two things. One thing is that we're definitely not advocating any of this. Just do what you want to do. Go out, be safe, be sensible.
Yeah, do your research.
That's
like I
our
said.
advice. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to listen to
Drill music,
Drill.
rap
Yeah.
music.
and you want to make love to Salt and Pepper, you can do.
Push it.
Real good. Right, let's do it all again next week. I shall
See you next Thursday, my friend.
see you next Thursday. Keep smiling.
Is the early start working for you?
It's working for me, yeah.
Yeah.
Working for you?
Nah, I don't listen on the door. That's my thing. Right, see you later, mate.
Keep smiling.
Stay safe.
Thank you for listening right to the end of this week's podcast, and we hope that you've enjoyed it. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at dad_tales_ or get involved by emailing us at dadtales@outlook.com. You can also now join our Facebook page by searching Dad Tales.
Keep the feedback coming. We are genuinely humbled by all the input and the comments you are providing us. Stay safe, celebrate small victories, and keep smiling.